Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee. Come explore our world of coffee. Established in 2014, DeLuna Coffee is owned and operated by Ed, Courtney, and Brett Lemmix. Lifelong FSU fans and Seminole boosters. Ed, class of 79, and son Brett, class of 2009, along with Miss Courtney, can regularly be found tailgating near the Unconquered statue. Wake up with their breakfast blend called Five Flags, named after the five flags of their city, Pensacola. Higher caffeine because of the light roast. It is their unique blend of Mexican, Colombian, and Ethiopian Yirgacheffe beans. Use the promo code WARCHANT15 for a 15% discount. Visit DeLunaCoffee.com and check out their Facebook and Instagram.
From Tally to Cali,
it's time
to wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.
Coffee's for closers only.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hujavandi
and Corey Clark.
So let's dance, let's dance, let's dance.
Wake up! What is up? It is Wake Up Warchant. It is fueled by DeLuna Coffee. DeLunaCoffee.com. Come explore our world of coffee. It's ours. It's all of ours, but mainly the Lemmix family. Great Seminoles through and through. Use the promo code WARCHANT15. People helping people. That's what we try to do here. Enjoy some great coffee from DeLunaCoffee.com. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Go to our YouTube page. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Hit the thumbs up on some of this great content. We're going video heavy. I'm calling my shot right now, Corey, so I can actually finish this. Although it might not see the light of day because it might be a little controversial. But I've gone ahead and myself have selected the 5 wildest moments of the 2021 year for Florida State athletics. So I might put something fun together, but it might not be the most glowing thing, so it might not actually ever get published. But anyhow, who cares about that? I haven't even talked to Corey, everybody. I sent him the link. I'm like, we're going. So I haven't even asked him how he is. So let me do that right now. Corey, how are you?
I am wonderful. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry your date was canceled.
Oh, why you got to bring it up like that? Yeah.
I'm legitimately sorry.
No,
all right. Was it you backing out?
No. I mean, should I say what happened? I don't want to dox her. She went to the ER. She said she wasn't feeling well.
In
particular.
Well, that's a good reason to cancel a date.
Or really an elaborate ruse.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I got
That's
my
smart
PI
too.
out there. I got my PI out there to see if she's lying to your guy. Daddy don't play around. But, all right, so you're good. You're doing well. What are you working on for the website? I imagine you got to be working on something. The year's almost over, man. The year.
So Tom and I did a video about, maybe officiating in the ACC and looking back over the year. So we did a video about that and, like, what we want from the ACC officials. Not like, hey, just make every call correct, because obviously that's not going to happen. But, you'd like maybe a little more accountability to know that people care one way or the other about egregious calls for and against Florida State. So I wrote a little bit about that, and so we'll have that up. And then we have the Gene, Ira, and I looking back on our top 40 lists. That video is up. Ira wrote the story about what we got right, what we got wrong. We also included you and Jeff in there. Your biggest hits, your biggest misses, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Talked about those things. That thing was really hard, especially in hindsight. Nobody did really well. I did terribly, but nobody did really well with that thing. And most of us had Mackenzie Milton number 1, and that clearly didn't happen.
I'm glad we're doing that, though. Hold us accountable, everybody. I'm surprised.
Hey, if I'm gonna have a video about officials being held accountable, then I should be held accountable. I do. There is a caveat there, though. Like, how many of those players did we know anything about?
It doesn't matter, but that's our job. People come to us so that we offer our sort of educated opinions on seeing these. We saw the spring football, right? Didn't we see spring? We saw a lot of spring.
Yeah, we saw some spring, but some guys came in after that. Some guys were hurt. Like Keir Thomas didn't practice at all in the spring, although I had him ranked really high. But, we just didn't know. We're done with the Travis J experiment. I'm not ranking him anymore until he proves it. But, no, going into this year, don't you feel like if you were going into this year and nobody's declared for the NFL yet, don't you feel like you'd have a pretty solid sense of like a top 15? Like, Jordan Travis, Dylan Gibbons, Trayshawn Ward, Jamie Robinson, Cooper, maybe Noles is in there, Lovett, people like that, Deloach. Guys that you feel, and then you sprinkle in maybe a Pittman and the kid from Arizona State,
Johnny Wilson,
and the kid from Wisconsin. Like you kind of know how to treat these transfers now, maybe more than because I was clearly on record not being all that excited about the Dylan Gibbons transfer, but none of us had him ranked very high. Like if we went back and re-ranked, I think he finished 21 in that ranking, like all told. But I think overall, wouldn't you say he was like top 7? Like just how they played throughout the year, he was probably at least top. He was definitely top 10.
It's hard to say, really hard to say. But I guess I think he was the highest grade offensive lineman. So that's
he was their best lineman, and he was good. He made a difference, and he was better than you could have hoped. So this year, going into next year, he'll probably be top 10 when we start the year. So will Jordan Travis.
Go figure. We went to Notre Dame to get a guy to replace the Pope.
Right. Oh, too good, Aslan. You've been waiting on that for a while. Did that just come to you?
Yeah, I'm good every now and then.
I feel like that should have been something from 2 months ago.
Sorry.
It's like when you get in an argument with someone,
I'm the worst,
and you come up with a great line, but you're already in the car on the way home.
It's me every single day editing this podcast. Let us begin. It is a Renegade Express edition of the program. We're going to get to as many questions as we possibly can. Maybe we'll do a show for you folks on Friday, although, that's New Year's Eve. Walk out on your bosses. Don't stand for that. Get out of work. Jimbo Jangles, wake up! It's been quite an interesting year, boys. As we look towards another trip around the sun, I want to hear your one bold prediction for anything FSU athletics related in 2022. As always, thanks for everything you do. P.S. With Dillingham gone, do we know if Atkins knows anything about cultivating bamboo? He's pretty zen, right?
I feel like Dillingham at least sent him some YouTube links, I'm sure, before he left about how to grow that bamboo. Or did he chop it? You don't think Dillingham burned it or chopped it down before he left, did he?
He helped cultivate it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but maybe it's not his bamboo garden anymore. Are they gardens or forests? But either way, it's not his bamboo area anymore, so he might have just burned the whole thing to the ground.
Hey, before we get to this, speaking of bamboo, our guy Gator Kirk really, really big on the bamboo, and he posted something the other day about, are we sure that Stephanie wants to get married? He says that, most folks after 40 sometimes are content with just having somebody in their lives. So I don't know if you want to address that. You want to punt to the after the show? I forgot if I didn't bring it up.
It's been made abundantly clear to me that she does not have a problem with a second marriage.
Okay, gotcha.
She would. To be honest with you, I don't even know if that's the reality of it. She does act like she gets excited when people mistake her for my wife when we go to like restaurants or been to hotels or something, like, we'll get right on that. Plus, she does a lot of stuff for me, like calls businesses because I'm so lazy to get something. So she's like, we're right on it, Mrs. Clark. But she really wants the ring. That's the key to the whole operation. She is fired up about the ring. Okay. But as far as marriage, I don't think she's actually told me she could have the ring now and not get married for 20 years.
Do you feel naked without a band on your hand?
No, for a while I still felt at it, because it was on my hand so I would, because it made that indention and it was there for so long that I would go over there and try to fiddle with it, and there was nothing there. Like a guy that gets his you hear that, like the guy that loses a limb but can still feel it itching.
Right.
You was that Silence of the Lambs scene. You remember that where he asked the senator about her daughter? That was a good line. All
right, one bold prediction for anything FSU athletics related in 2022. 10 wins. 10 wins. 10 wins. Do it.
Bold prediction. Yeah, man. Anything. Baseball getting to Omaha, is that a bold prediction?
They've only done it like 24 times. So
exactly. I don't know if that. How about baseball gets to the championship series in Omaha?
Okay. All right.
There's my bold prediction. They got 2 really stud pitchers, and more behind them, but 2 really good starters. So if they stay healthy and their offense should be better, I'm going to say that, and their defense should be much better. I'm going to say that they're going to get to the championship series in Omaha.
Let me amend my bold prediction and keep it bold. I think we will have an extremely crystal clear idea of whether or not this is going to work. That doesn't sit down right. We'll know just how confident we are that Mike Norvell can be a championship level coach at the completion of next year. I don't think 2023 is like we'll really know. I think this is the year, man. I think we'll figure it out. If you're on the fence, you'll figure out which side of it you're on. Absolutely.
How about this this isn't necessarily Florida State related, and it's not for 2022. It's for 2023 and 2024. But I predict that Travis Hunter will score more touchdowns in the FBS than he will in the FCS.
Oh, wow. That'd be like plus 500 on the money line for a prop.
Probably.
I like it, though.
Yep,
I like it.
that's what I'm saying. He'll score more money. He'll score more touchdowns, have more yards in the FBS than the FCS when his career is over.
Okay. I like it. Thank you for the question, Jimbo Jangles. Appreciate you, man. Have a happy New Year. The Walking Knoll 01. It's me, guys. It's Walker. He's in Mississippi.
All right.
Glad I'm not in my usual spot of 20th on the board. Like you said, Aslan, it's the last week of old 2021. We could not wait for 2020 to be over, and now this year has just flown past us. I am thankful for all that this year has brought me and FSU football. I am confident in this staff, and in fact, that if we are able to get some quality defensive ends from the portal, next year will indeed be better. At least I hope so. So what's one thing that has come to you over the past year that you were thankful for, such as a new friend, a new hobby, maybe a new house? What you got, guys? Either way, thanks to both of yous for what you do for us Nole fans. All love, man.
Did he say something new? Hey, all love back at you, buddy. Did he say something new that we're thankful for, or just something we're thankful for?
One thing that has come to you over the past year that you're thankful for?
Oh, that's come to me over the past year.
Tom Lang, right? Helping out doing some, stepping and doing some war chant reports so we can keep everything on schedule, keep the trains going on time.
Sure.
That's sweet. This little house of mine's pretty cool. I like that. My note's much cheaper than what I was paying in rent. That's really cool. That's what I'm thankful for. And all the health. I mean, I know it's not new, but just, hey, man, another year. My mother and my father are in their 70s. They're still healthy and doing well, so I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is I guess a.
You want to come back to it? You want me to remind you?
It's a commentary on my life, but there's nothing new over the past year that is.
The Braves, another ring on another pennant.
What am I thinking of? Absolutely, another ring. That's it. The Braves. Thank you, Aslan. Thank you very much. But only because Stephanie, Brady, everybody else, you, Ira, Shanna, everybody that's been in my life. There haven't been a bunch of newcomers that came in that I would want to separate over other ones. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been, you know what I'm saying. So, I'm going to go.
Jeff being with us. Thank you.
He doesn't count. Yeah, that's fine. I would say the Braves. That's a great answer. The Braves winning the World Series was a fun moment for yours truly.
Real quick.
And I'll never forget it.
Real quick, were you more excited? I can't find the right adjective. I'll just use excited. Were you more excited when Florida State won in 2013 or this year when Atlanta won the World Series? Obviously, a lot longer gap with the Braves, but just kind of curious about how those sort of hit your heartstrings, if you will.
Well, considering I didn't watch the Braves clinch, I was more on edge for the championship game against Auburn, and it meant more to me professionally. Clearly, the Braves winning or losing doesn't affect me at all. So I guess I would go with that. But man, the Braves winning was pretty darn sweet, buddy. That just doesn't happen to us, and it's such a weight lifted off. It's just such a weight lifted off your shoulders to be like, okay, I can go another 20 years. We still got the other one. We got two now. It wasn't just the one. So I'll still say that. I'll still say the Braves. It's close though.
Island Chief, wake up! Here's to our friends and family who know us well and love us anyways. Amen.
Well said.
Speaking of those familiar to us, Odell Hagens, Ron Dugans, they have contracts that, if I'm not mistaken, expire in a mere few days. I think if both were coming back, that would be resolved by now. How accurate is that conjecture? A new year is upon us. Time to put away the old, embrace the future with positivity and purpose. My resolution for the upcoming year is to keep goals private. Yours? Okay.
To keep goals private. That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one to have. What is yours?
I mean, that's just the same stuff I do every year. I'm like, I just want to get up out of, Actually, I'm going to focus more on just living a more conventional lifestyle. I'm going to stop trying to, get out of bed at 11 a.m., stop eating dinner at 10 p.m. I'm a grown man. I need to stop doing that. So, and I had a good run. Like, as much as, I begrudged Willie and Mike for these morning practices, I got into a pretty good rhythm during football season. Getting up, doing, hit the gym, do the podcast, maybe do another video on top of it, and then kind of get dinner at a reasonable hour, and I'm like, wow, this kind of feels cool. Like it's 11:30. I just yawned. I'm tired.
Right.
I don't know, little things like that. So I don't know. But
I'm going to get.
Go. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think I'm going to get back to working out, like not just walking and trying to stay in shape, but actually getting the muscles fired again.
Okay. Hey,
I got a pull-up bar
for free. I can bring a guest for free at my gym every time. So let's do it.
Wait, can we spot each other?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How short can my shorts be, and they let me still come in there?
I mean, I get like 7-inch inseams, so I mean, you don't wear shorts shorter than I do.
Okay, but I might like to.
Okay, do it then. No one's going to judge. Okay. Corey Clark.
Well, I'm just saying, it'd be a treat for everyone in there. But yeah, I do want to start working out again. I got a pull-up bar / push-up bar thing for Brady, and for me. So start doing a little bit of that every now and again. But then, I need to actually go back in and start, because I was in good shape about 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Okay. Hurt my shoulder and stopped working out. And I wouldn't say I've let myself go, but I'm not as I don't have. I want to get stronger again. I want to be in better shape. So that's my goal.
All right. Odell and Ron, that does make sense. I think of most of those guys' contracts that were on the 2-year thing when Norvell got here. I thought Odell got an extension. Don't quote me on that. I can't imagine Odell leaving. I haven't seen anything from him that makes me think he's trying to hang up his whistle. The Duquesne thing is interesting. I don't know. I mean, you just got 2 guys in the portal. Now, I don't know how much responsibility he had for that. Some of that's, Kenny apparently was very instrumental in getting Micah Pittman here. Johnny Wilson, a guy from Arizona State, teammate of Pittman's. Maybe some of that Arizona ties that Norvell has are still in play. I wouldn't. If Ron Duquesne's going to play at Florida State, I would say get rid of him already. That's just me being completely honest. I don't think he's going anywhere though, because you wait around. You give him till February to see what he can do with the conventional signing period. Although those guys aren't going to impact. There's no kid that's 18 years old right now that's going to help out this team enough when it comes to being a wide receiver. So are you just trying to see how many more guys he can add in the portal? But then the portal is open for so long. Gibbons came here in June. Are you going to just keep letting Ron Duquesne stick around, hoping he's going to be able to land somebody for you in the middle of May? That's kind of bizarre. So I just feel like maybe it's kind of, hey, this is, put up or shut up sort of time. So I don't foresee either of them leaving. But obviously, if Ron left, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would think of something. I guess you would wait till after the second signing day if you're going to make a change. There's no point in making one now, unless you have somebody in mind that you want to go ahead and get on board, and they can help you recruit over these last 4 weeks. But what would they be waiting on?
Right. Yeah.
What would you be waiting on right now? Like these last 2 weeks have been a perfect time if you were going to make a change to announce you're making a change. I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but it would just seem odd. The season's been over for 6 weeks now, and signing day's been over for 2 weeks. So what are you waiting on? That would be my. So the fact that nothing has happened would lead me to believe that he wants, or most all of the coaches that haven't taken other jobs are coming back. They're not being let go.
Maybe he appreciates continuity. He didn't have a lot of it at Memphis.
Yeah,
it's not all that exciting. Maybe it's fun for us hot boards, but when you're a head coach and you got to tell a guy to walk in your office and fire him and then get somebody new in here. But I don't know. I'd like some new blood. And right now all you really have is Tony Tokars when you think about it, and he was he's on staff the last few years, so. I would like an injection of new thoughts and ideas, but then again, it's a wide receiver job. Your primary job is to recruit, so I guess they're fine with the transfer guys they have, and which I get it. That's fine. I think somebody posted on our YouTube thread about, just give us 2 good plays. I think Jaws Drum. I don't know what his name is. Shout out to you though. Was saying just give us 2 good plays a game, Johnny Wilson. That's all. It was like that's all Kelvin really did. He said that's all that Tamori and Terry really did. Just give us 2 good plays a game. I mean, all right, that's reasonable. And that would help.
Sure.
S. Quinn 67. Wait up. Hope you're both having a great holiday season. We appreciate the Warchant team and the podcasts. Most of my friends are excited about the 2022 football team. I can't say that has been the case since heading into the 18 season, although that didn't work out great. My question, which inbound transfer portal player do you guys think will have the biggest impact in 2022? How about over the course of their career? Go Noles, have a great New Year's Eve. Party like no one's watching. S. Quinn, 67, class of 93.
Hey, S. Quinn, do me a favor. And I'm not couching this or pushing it back because I don't have a good answer.
Of course.
He's
scarred from the top 40 retrospective.
Right. No, I'm saying ask it again in a month or 2 months. Like right now, there's only 4, right? Three or 4 transfers. There are going to be 10 or 11. So right now, it's going to be one of those. It's probably going to be the old lineman from Wisconsin, honestly. But I think all 3 of those guys on the offensive side of the ball, not Bless Harris maybe, but maybe so. But those other 3 guys, the lineman from Wisconsin, and then Pittman and Wilson, the 2 wide receivers, I think they all have a chance to start. But let's see what they get on the other side. Oh, they did get the kid from Louisville, right?
Oh, that's right, Greedy Vance. We forgot to mention that. Greedy Vance, yeah, from Edna Carr High School, most recently Louisville.
Yeah, played there for 1 year. I guess he was there as a freshman in 2020, but didn't play.
Not
so
a
he
ton,
was still.
but he did record some stats, but yeah, he didn't play a ton. Like maybe
so he
40
was
snaps.
Technically a freshman in 2021, so he'll be I guess a sophomore coming up this year. So you got some time with him. But yeah, I would say let's see what the next 7 look like, and then ask that again. To answer it just from the group now, I would say Pittman.
Right.
But,
correct. Well, at least for the second part, over the course of their career, because he's got more eligibility than Caden Lyles. Caden Lyles, I mean, if this offensive line can really take a step forward and he can be an instrumental part of it, that might be the guy that has the biggest quote-unquote impact. So it sounds like you're kind of taking the field right now. Like you do recognize there's obviously more guys coming. You have a sneaking suspicion or a gut instinct that lets you think that there's probably going to be maybe a bigger fish, maybe a more accomplished guy that they'll get between now and Duquesne.
Well, we'll just have a bigger sample size, right, of who to choose from. Like you can ask this question now, and I'll say Pittman.
But right now they got a Big Ten offensive lineman that's solid, and they've got 2 Pac-12 wide receivers. So like, if you're not like ready to be like, I think that guy's going to. I mean, again, I know there's going to be 15 players, but there could be a whole bunch of Jarquez McClellions instead of Jermaine Johnsons being added between now and then.
Yeah, it'll be a mix.
I will say I think these guys are good. I think this is a good start. I am hopeful there will be somebody that really jumps off the page and we all can be like, there's not any hope or like, okay, this guy we pretty much know certainly is going to be a huge difference maker. That guy's not here right now. But if we have to do as Quinn's question right now, I would say Micah Pittman, biggest impact over the course of his career, biggest impact in 2022, I would say Caden Lyles, just because we saw what Dylan Gibbons did.
Yeah, and I would just say ask it again in a couple months too. We've answered it now for the current transfer portal guys, but ask it again when it's been doubled or tripled the roster size of these portal kids, and we might have a different answer. We probably would have a different answer in about 2 months before spring practice starts.
Boneless wings gone wild. Zaxby's all-new Buffalo Garlic Blaze. Saucy, savory, spicy, spectacular. Try it on the new Buffalo Garlic Blaze Boneless Wings meal. Comes with fries, Texas toast, and a drink. Only at Zaxby's.
And don't forget to listen in for the Zaxby's indescribably good Player of the Week every Monday on Wake Up Warchant.
Noles MG4. Wake up! It's been a very tough year. Oh, jeez. It's been a very tough year. I lost my dad, uncle, and aunt.
Oh.
And through it all, I looked forward to Wake Up Warchant and headlines to get me through some tough days. So when I say I truly appreciate all you do, it is very sincere. May God continue to bless and keep you all in 2022. Corey, I'm going to pray for Lil Man as well. He's got, all right, well, I mean, good gosh. Thank you, Noles MG. We just like to talk about your favorite team. I'm glad you enjoy it, man. Glad it helps give you a little bit of escape. Truly, man. That's I don't know what to say. Corey, say something better. You're smarter.
Aslan wrapped it up succinctly like he always does, perfectly. No, man, it's very much appreciated. I don't even. You kind of get lost in. You get speechless sometimes because we just goof around. I mean, we have fun. We take it seriously, but and I'm the same way with other podcasts. I've thought about this before. Like, there's a few podcasts that I listen to where if they just stopped doing it, I would have like it would feel like a loss. Like, man, this is a part of my life. These are friends of mine. These are people that matter to me. And if I couldn't hear them every week, it would be really bothersome. It would feel like a loss. So it's really cool and rewarding to be that. And I'm not saying we're that for most people, but some people we are, and that's really cool to hear, and it means a lot. And also, as far as the Brady update, completely clear, full, everything's good. Plus the CDC cut it down to 5 days, so he was already at day 11 when they did that. But yeah, he had the symptoms really the one night, and then was congested a little bit, but has been perfectly fine for well over a week now. So that was very, very, very. It doesn't really affect kids that much that are mostly healthy, but you never really know. There's still a little trepidation there, but he was perfectly fine and got through it with flying colors.
No, just like all surgery's minor when it's not
right. And so there was a kid.
Was there a poor kid from Georgia that
quarterback.
surgery?
He had shoulder surgery, had complications, and died. I had not to get really dark, but I had one of my dad's best friends, his I guess it was his nephew, died after a tonsillitis.
My God, what?
9 years old.
Jeez.
I mean, so yeah, people say minor surgery, but there's nothing ever really minor about it. There's all these stuff that could go wrong, and so yeah, same thing with this, and we're blessed that he and his mom have made it through.
All right. Again, thanks, Noles MG4. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
On this,
and here's hoping 2022 goes much better, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, here are my thoughts. Noles MG4 says on 2022, I think we shock a lot of people with the team that's going to take the field this upcoming season, and with the new additions at wide receivers coach and running backs coach.
Oh, okay.
I think David Johnson will be moved to wide receivers, and we will get a good running back coach. Take care, Warchant fam. Ooh.
Okay. All right.
2 ace recruiters, like Mike's like, I'm taking I'm taking control of the ship again. I'm going to call plays. I just want dudes. I just want James Coley. I want 2 James Coleys. I want 2 dudes who can just recruit their.
Or Damian Craig. You get your Coley and your Craig.
Yeah.
And load the roster. Hey man, whatever it takes. We're all behind them 100%. Get this thing up and running again, Mike.
Golly, man, I was just thinking about it, man. Just watching some of the old War Chant raps from years past, and just like, man, if they're gonna start winning again, man. I mean, all the content we got going up, I'm just like, man, let's just win.
Iris sent me a video that his daughter Alexa, who's a Florida State student and is in the film school. I think she's in the film school. She's been accepted to film school.
Oh, really? She's young.
Yeah.
I thought she's only been there for like a year.
I think she got accepted right away, like as a high school senior. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Fells, man, big brains.
But I know it's crazy. They're all overachievers. But she put together like a video, a really funny video that we're going to put on our YouTube channel, the War Chant channel, just like the greatest hits for the War Chant rap for this past year.
Oh, nice.
Cut it up into all these, basically Ira and I, mainly me, just being a complete goofball and idiot. But it's like 8 or 9 minutes of like highlights, like the best of. So it's really funny. It's really well done. So go check that out, guys. Hopefully it'll be up by New Year's Eve.
All right. Very well. Moving on to the Pacific Ocean. A little dot out there. Hawaii. Spartan Knoll 71. Ralph. Aloha, guys. How's it? Last week I projected to be my last for a while because I was not expecting a show this week. If I may be honest, I was hoping you guys would take some much-deserved time off during this holiday season and down cycle on FSU activity. We're a website, Ralph. We gotta feed the machine. We gotta feed you folks.
Yeah.
We're here for it. Since we are here now, I would like to ask, what is your favorite place you have visited, and why did you go? I've been blessed beyond words for all the places the Marines have taken me. My number 1 would be Israel, which allowed me to see so many of the sites that are important through my faith. And number 2, Rome and Venice in Italy. The history and architecture is amazing. I will start my ministry training after the new year, so this really is my last War Chant interaction for a while. All my best, Ralph. Oh, man, leave a voicemail maybe, man. We'll punch you on the show. Not
Do you
live,
think
but,
he'll listen to this answer?
Yeah. He was expecting a show this week, so I'm sure he's still going to be on the lookout for it when he sees us post it. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, just subscribe to it.
All right, just going to make sure we're not doing this in vain.
Yeah. I was thinking about you with the passing of John Madden, which, oh man, what a bummer. really cultivated my love for the game of football. I love John Madden. The Madden Cruiser, he never flew anywhere. I'm like,
Right.
Corey was on it. Corey, trying to pick up the baton. We need to get you a Clark Cruiser, just every game, just to get you a nice Winnebago. And Stephanie can come with you, see all the sights of, the ACC.
What do you think it would cost for a driver, though? I'm not driving that thing.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll love it. It'll be relaxing. They look
but
intimidating.
Madden wasn't in the chair driving it. He was in the back eating and drinking. It's not as much fun as I'd just rather drive my Mazda if I got to do the driving anyway. Yeah. So, but yeah, that would be awesome. I've always thought about that, or trains. I would love to just be a guy on a train going from city to city. But as I said way back when, because I tried to look up, I literally did. I've said this. I might have told it on this show before. I'm sure I have. But I tried to look into trains to get out to L.A. back in 13 and 14 because I really didn't want to fly. And I'm like, maybe I could take a train there. How long would that take, and how much would it cost? Oh, like $1,800, and it takes a day and a half. It might have been more than that. It might have been 3 days to get from Tallahassee to L.A. by train because you got to go up the eastern seaboard. You got to all these stops. And I'm like, man, what did it take in 1901 to get to L.A. by train from Tallahassee? Probably 3 days.
Yeah.
There's been no advancements at all in that transportation, in that technology. And
Frankly,
meanwhile,
not in this country. I mean, everywhere else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've been everywhere else, but here we're like, screw the train.
Yeah.
We're going to make it incredibly expensive and not convenient, and it's going to take 25 times as long. So anyway, I did not take a train to this place, but probably again, my dad. I was really lucky that my dad took me to a lot of really cool places over the years. I would say the Grand Canyon. He booked a rafting trip down in the Colorado River inside the Grand Canyon.
Oh, nice.
So we rafted through the Grand Canyon for a week, which was really, I did not want to go. I was not looking forward. I know you look at me and you're like, man, this kid loves the outdoors. As a 14-year-old, Corey must have just been you couldn't get him out of his hunting stand. That's all he wanted. He just loved the outdoors and being in nature. I was not excited to go. I did not want to go. I was so not looking forward to it, and it was awesome. It was whitewater rafting. It was the guides were all 19 and 20-year-old women. As a 14-year-old, that was awesome. And then it was just awesome. It was an incredible 7-day experience that I was very, very lucky to have.
I guess I have to say Bali since it's most recent and it sounds the most exotic.
Right.
It was super cool. I liked going to Iran when I was a kid. That was kind of cool to see the ancestral homeland. We went to where my parents are from is literally 30 minutes away from the capital of the ancient Persian Empire. So I got to see the ruins and everything. So that was kind of cool. I'm like, ooh, I feel like I belong. And then America, anytime I go to New Orleans, I can't wait for the LSU game. I'm going to be so drunk. I'm going to be so happy to see all of you. I can't wait to see all of you. I think, Ralph, hopefully you'll be able to make it. I think you said you might be able to make it. Better see you out there, Ralph. Those are my answers. Thanks, Ralph.
Okay,
best of luck with everything, man. Bry Guy is one. This guy's, I've never heard this name before. They've been around since December 22nd, 2017. Look at that. 96th
Okay.
post. Happy New Year to the greatest group of FSU sports coverage personnel in the world.
Amen. Amen, brother.
All right. Okay, first things first. I'm from Warner Robins, Georgia. Back-to-back state champs, 5A football. Also home to Jake Fromm, Marquez Callaway, Eddie Anderson, James Brooks, Willie Reed, and the one who started it all, Ron Simmons.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I didn't know Willie Reed's from Willie Reed went to Warner Robins?
Yeah, I think he went to Northside Warner Robins, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he was a super duper running back there. He was like the Mr. Everything there, and he Georgia, everybody wanted him, and he came to Florida State.
Is Kathleen a city in Georgia or a high school in Georgia? I feel like but I know Kathleen's in Lakewood.
It's probably a city. I don't think it's a high school. I think it might be a city.
I could be wrong on that. All right, my question.
Yeah.
Well done, Bry Guys. Way to follow the assignment. Now for the question: what would be your New Year's resolution if you were a UF fan, 2, a Miami fan? I really have enjoyed your show. It pains me this time of year when I can't listen every morning at 5 a.m. on my way to work. May 2022 be your greatest year yet. Wake up and go Noles.
Did he really say A and then 2?
Well,
Like A, Florida fan, 2, Miami fan?
Yes, correct. Yes.
My dad used to do that all the time, and it always made me laugh. Because then he'd go A, and then he'd go number 2, and then half the time he would go number 3, and the other half he'd go back to C. So he'd switch it up between the letters and the numbers, and you never knew. You were on your toes.
No.
Like, is this going to be a C point, or is he going to say 3?
No, he was saying number 1, a UF fan. Number 2, a Miami fan.
I thought you said A. The first choice was A.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dad. I just took an unnecessary shot at you. That's my bad. I hope you're not listening up there.
If you're
A New Year's for Florida would be.
Stop pretending. Stop thinking that you are the best program in the state of Florida, like of all time, because you're not. You're not. You arguably are the third in the top in the big 3 in this state. I mean,
ratio wise, yeah.
Of anybody, I think you can. If you were a guy from Tennessee, or maybe that's not like a guy from Iowa, you could probably make the most compelling reason that if anyone's going to be number 3 in this big 3, it would be Florida. But their fans heck no way. No way. We're the best. Harvard of the South. Harvard of the South.
Right.
So, figure that out. You don't have as many guys in the Hall of Fame as we do. You had a huge head start on Florida State. You have no surplus of success. None of it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like Florida State has I really hope Leroy Butler gets in. Anquan is going to be he's going to be a guy they talk about a long time that might get in. And then the way it's going, and I know it's still early, but you're looking at Jalen and Dalvin too.
Yeah, well,
like you might have a whole wing of Florida State guys before it's over. Jalen, as long as he stays healthy, he's definitely in. Dalvin is just the shelf life of running backs. But I feel like but they view that now with that through that lens. So if Dalvin gives you 2 more good years, so he has like 5 All-Pro type seasons, Pro Bowl type seasons, that might be enough in this day and age of running backs because there aren't any running backs that are going to last 12 or 15 years anymore. So
do you think
if he gives you 2 more good ones.
But do you think they'll feel the need to continue to celebrate running backs, or will it be a point where like this is clearly a passing league? They are, they're just not as vital to the success of a football team as they once were, so we don't need to put them. I don't know.
But I think that's why somebody like Dalvin would stand out. Like if you're the best, like Buster Posey. Buster Posey's numbers, and he's in his career. He's already retired. He played 10 years essentially in the major leagues, which isn't a long career for a Major League Baseball player.
All those World Series wins, though, man, that's
he did that. But he was also the best at his position. And I think if you look at Dalvin as being the best at his position for half a decade, I would think that would be enough, like the Sandy Koufax rule, just because it is running backs. But yeah, I would think if you stand out at that position, you should get a little more leeway than all wide receivers, man. I mean, good grief. Who's the best wide receiver in the league right now? Is it Cooper Kupp? Is it the guy?
Adams.
Is it Devontae Adams?
No.
I mean, there's a bunch of them. 2 years ago, there was like Odell Beckham Jr., there was Julio. It's hard to quantify how good those guys are, but I think the running backs, the great running backs, they're easier to spot now than maybe they were 25 years ago because there aren't many of them.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Ditka. Apparently, I think Mike Ditka still has the NFL rookie record for receiving as a tight end. Like the fact that record has stood. It was cool to see Anquan's name on the screen this past weekend. Didn't Jalen Waddle break his record of
catches? Catches for a rookie. Yeah,
jerk.
Which is also like all his catches are 6 yards. Like awesome, man. What do you got? 90 catches for 400 yards.
Yeah.
Great. So what was the question? Oh, about I would say the Miami resolution, if you're a fan of Miami, is maybe make this the year you actually go attend a game. Go see your team in person. Go soak it up. Let me say this, and not the Florida State game. Go see, because I'm sure there's a ton of Miami fans, most maybe. The only time they've seen their team play in person was against Florida State. Go see them play a team other than Florida State. That's your New Year's resolution.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're a little bit nervous about what they got going on down there. Not as nervous about what's going on in Gainesville, but although I guess maybe this is kind of cool because if this doesn't work, then we could probably have like a real. If they get rid of Mario Cristobal in 3 or 4 years, we could literally probably just do a funeral for that entire program. Like it's just. I mean, it's really, really never going to come back then. But I'm a little bit nervous. Old Dad's a Nole. Wake up! I realize this is now old news. what Travis Hunt, he did the initials, I won't say the name. What
Okay.
did on signing day gave all the FSU haters something to laugh about. True enough. I watched every snap Deion played at FSU and have enjoyed him over the years, so I'm probably in a minority, but I have zero ill will towards him. When recruiting has used DBU, I'm sure his name is always the first to be brought up, sort of NIL before NIL, if you may. But I do have a question about it. Personally, I am happy, as shocking as it was, that it happened on signing day, mainly that it wasn't to Georgia. But my question is, what impact to the class do you think it would have had, say he decommitted after the Florida game with 3 weeks to go? Happiest of New Year's to you both, Old Dad. Yeah, you are in the minority on this, Old Dad, but I don't think you're wrong. I think it'll blow over in a few years. But yeah, right now he's just persona non grata. What, a persona non grata? There we go.
You got it. You nailed it second time.
Crushed it. I've never been that big of a Deion guy. Just I think this is a cop out here. I think Deion's probably really cool. I don't think Prime is very cool, and I don't know how much of his waking hours now, the percentage of him being Deion and him being Prime. But I've never really all that much really truly fully embraced Prime. But again, I mean, I'm not trying to throw out the Thorpe Trophy and tell him to never come here ever again. Man, it was 2-3 years ago at the Under Armour All-American game where he was a coach that they had, I think maybe Travis J or one of those guys maybe life commit during the game, and he like stopped the game. He's coaching them and he's telling Akeem Dent to come over. They're sitting on a couch live on ESPN. He's got Akeem Dent, Brendan Gant, and Travis J sitting with him. They're all FSU commits, and he's an FSU guy, and he didn't have any reason to ever do anything that would go against FSU's interests. Now he kind of sort of does, and he did, and it's a bummer, but we'll be all right.
Yeah.
To your question, though, I think it would have. I think it would have affected some of these kids. I do think it shook some of them. We even saw them tweet about it. But I think when you get to this far into the game and it happens, and it's like, all right, I already had my plans to go there. I've literally signed my LOI. And, maybe shout out to Norvell and everybody for doing some good crisis control with those guys and letting them know, hey, man, we're still going to be okay. But I think that would have not been a good – I can't see how it would not have affected it. 3 weeks, you just lost to Florida. Your number one recruit just decommitted. That's for whatever momentum exists in recruiting, that would have been some bad stuff, and I feel like something would have gotten caught up in the collateral damage of that.
Maybe, but also maybe it gives you 3 weeks to counteract it and counterbalance it and come up with say Sam McCall was like, man, I don't know now. Maybe I should go FCS or whatever he would say to himself. You have 3 weeks to, as opposed to in some cases 3 hours or 1 hour to talk to a kid. You would have weeks to try to, put out that fire maybe. But yeah, I think maybe it was so sudden. And at that point, is a kid like A.J. Duffy, and I mean, look, you should never go to a school because one other kid is going there. And I don't think most guys do, but it is cool to be a part of a class with the number one player in the country. So when Hunter decommits, say November, right, the day after Thanksgiving, or the day after the Florida game, does A.J. Duffy have second thoughts right then? But the day of, yeah, it hurts, and maybe you have second thoughts like, oh man, Hunter's not going to be a part of this class. What am I doing? But you're so far along the way that you're like, no, man, what else? It's too late now. I'm pot committed. I'm going ahead and send my letter in. And if it doesn't work out, I can leave in a year. I think maybe I see what you're saying, but I also think the counter argument is that they would, if it had happened in Florida, number one, they might have had 2 more weeks to talk him out of it. But they would have at least known that was a possibility and been like, man, don't do this. We'll double it. Whatever they're doing, Travis, we'll double it, buddy. But whatever you would have had to do to get him back on the boat, you would have had 2 extra weeks to do it. And I also think you could have done that with the prospects that kind of climbed up on the fence once he decommitted, maybe. But yeah, it's impossible to know. And as far as Deion goes, look, Deion's never been the guy that seemed to embrace Florida State after he left. Mm-hmm. He didn't come back a ton. He wasn't a part of, he didn't seem to really be I guess, and I remember this coming up around the turn of the century when Miami was back to being Miami again. Like all those Miami guys, all they did was go back to Miami for football games in their off week. You'd see 8 All-Pros or 12 All-Pros on the Miami sidelines. You never really saw Deion. But I don't. He doesn't know Florida State anything.
He was in Shreveport, man.
That's because his Odell. Odell was the coach, but I mean, it was he. That's when he showed up, when his former roommate, who he dearly loves, was the coach, and he wanted to be there and support him, which is cool. Maybe he was angling for a job on that staff. I don't know, but look, man. At the end of the day, Deion doesn't owe Florida State anything. Florida State will always have a debt to Deion for what he did in that. To kickstart the dynasty. He was an enormous part of it. It can't even be overstated how big a part he was of that dynasty. But yes, it does sting a little that one of your all-time greats comes 30 years later and takes away what could have been another all-time great. But, he's serving he's doing his job, and that's to help make Jackson State better and maybe get himself a better job in a few years, which is what we're all trying to do. Well, not us, right, Aslan? I'm perfectly good where I'm at. I like where I'm at.
I just want to start winning football games. And don't forget, man, he can. Travis can come back. He can come back home.
Absolutely.
I like that thought, though. Way to be positive on that, because maybe with 3 weeks you can come together with another package. I thought the question was kind of maybe like, for sure there's no way he's coming. But I guess
sure.
that 3 weeks, maybe we can think of it as, all right, now you can go back to Rising Spear and be like, all right, who are our 5 best or who are our 4 best students in the film program other than Ira Schofel's daughter,
right?
And we'll follow him around. We'll do the documentary thing. Random_John. Good morning and wake up, Aslan and Corey. Thank you both for all you have done this year. We listeners really appreciate it. I do not have much to ask on sports because the last few weeks have proven to be quite a farce, with game cancellations, playoffs decided by protocols instead of field play, and now March Madness seeding should be a trip as well. But I digress. My 2021 New Year's resolution was to run 1,000 miles. My God.
Oh, wow.
I made it. I am sitting at 1,050 miles right now. No easy feat with a wedding, honeymoon, and one very unfortunate cooking accident. Who knew transitioning from bacon to eggs on the stove could be so dangerous? What happened? Like the bacon grease? Like the egg hits the bacon grease and probably cooking with gas. Which now, have I said it before? Like, now I know what people mean when they say, now we're cooking with gas. Because I have gas in my house now. It's intense. Anyway, for 2022, I'm asking you two to help me come up with a good New Year's resolution. Should I attempt to change my blood type to DeLuna, make my way through everything on the Zaxby's menu, and write delightful reviews about my experience, eat hummus at Horizons, maybe feel like Corey for a minute. Maybe I can yell at someone wearing a Hurricane shirt and finish it with, "That's for Aslan," and walk away with no context. Maybe you both have something else in mind. What say you guys? Help me come up with a resolution, and let's see if I can do it. Again, we love you, Aslan and Corey. He put my name first. Thank you. Everyone drink DeLuna, subscribe to Warchant. Happy New Year's, and go Noles.
I think I got a perfect one.
Go for it.
How about running 2,000 miles?
Oh, come on.
Hey, I just looked it up while you were going through all that. I've walked an average of 2.1 miles a day. So that's 720 miles I walked. That's not bad, right?
Not at all. That's awesome, man.
That could get me. Where could that get me? Could that get me into New Orleans? No, it'd get me past New Orleans, right? 720 miles. That might get me into Texas.
Yeah.
If I'm Forrest Gump, but at a much slower pace. Like he was going to and fro, coast to coast, because he wouldn't stop running. Look, man, resolutions. I'm awful at them. I try to shoot small, like work out, more than I am now, which would be like once a week. Shave more, things like that. Things that are attainable. Don't make them like 2,000 miles running or something. But do you have any ideas for him?
I was going to say something yoga related. Like, let's see if you can do yoga like twice a week, because I think that'll just make you feel so much better. I'm like a real big proponent of yoga.
Okay.
If I was a head football coach, I would literally incorporate that into some sort of part of my strength and conditioning program.
Are you more of a hot yoga or cold yoga guy?
I've never done hot yoga. That's just bizarre. I used to do it at the old Midtown office in the summer. I'd turn the AC off for like a minute. And man, it would get up to maybe like 80 in the house, and it was just absolutely brutal. And then I think hot yoga is legitimately 90 and above. No way. Couldn't do it.
What about making somebody cry out of happiness every month?
Oh, that's a tough ask.
That is a tough ask, but it's something you can do. There's people in our lives that we never tell how much they truly mean to us until they're gone. That's when I was thinking about this today. Like the stuff I write about my dad, I would tell him I loved him and I would say thank you a lot when he did really nice things for me. But the stuff I wrote about my dad, I never told him in person how much he meant to me. Like certainly not as much as I write about him. And the same I don't do it now with my mom. Like why wait to eulogize someone? Go out there and tell people how much they mean to you and why they've been so impactful on their lives. Family members, friends, podcast hosts. Go out there and tell them what they mean to you. We only live once. Don't hold that stuff in.
Yeah. No, I like it. The tears sustain me. I like it.
Yeah.
Real quick, so one of my good friends got married during the pandemic, and he's pretty well-to-do, and then he had a baby shower that I went to, and I was like, what do you get for somebody that has everything and can afford pretty much anything that they want? So I'm like, I'll film your baby shower. And I set it to music, and I had some of the wedding footage stuff that they had posted on everybody's Facebook page. I went and got it. I've been working on this video forever, but I have to find the right song and then get into a mood where I'm like, all right, I am totally in this creative spirit, and I want to create something that's really emotional. And I finally got it done on Tuesday, and I sent it to him. And I'm like, I just want you to put a camera on your TV stand, but I want it facing you and your wife because I want to see your reaction when it happens. Because I want to see one of you guys cry.
Right.
But I was like, I'm just joking. But I really did want to see that. But he was like, she definitely, we both cried. And then his sister was like, I cried. So everyone's like, they cried. I'm like, thank God. Because I got emotional editing the video, and I've never even seen the baby. Like the baby's finally born now and everything. So that's, I like that. And maybe that just speaks to who I am. But it's the good tears. I'm not trying to hurt people. I want to, but that's, anybody can be happy. But can you be so happy that you're moved to tears?
Yeah.
I like it, Corey. I like it a lot.
Yeah, man. Think about how nice that is that you did that for someone.
Oh, I know, man. I want it. I'm like, if I were to charge you $2,000 for this, what would you have done? He's like, that's a deal. I'm like, all right, maybe I got a second profession here.
Now you're taking it. I was thinking more just how the payment you got was in the.
No, I know. Anytime I see them, like. If I go home for New Year's Eve, they're just going to be like, thank you so much, Aslan. Like, I know, I'm awesome.
I know, I'm the greatest, whatever. It wasn't even my resolution. I just do it because I'm a nice person.
Derek, Mr. Omega, XDQ004, wake up! Though the season may not have ended the way we wanted, I feel like we were moving in a positive direction. The defense improved by leaps and bounds over 2020. The pass rush was greatly improved. Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you, Kier. But also there were fewer receivers running free in the secondary.
Yes,
fewer blown assignments, MAs. The offensive line was much improved. There were games where we looked like an average college football team. That's progress. And I don't have any doubts that Mike Norvell will get the offense humming this coming year. We return almost all of our starters on offense, and the third year is when most offenses make the leap. I demand it. I like that. We still need to fill some holes, but I'm very optimistic of where we can go in 2022. My question this week is a simple one. What position group and player needs to be better in 2022 in order for us to get to 8 wins? That's it? Come on. Derek, you're all, we're going to take a jump. 8. I mean, 5 to 8 is, but anyhow. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Support all the sponsors, everybody, and go Noles.
I mean, all of them is the answer. To get to 8, to get to 8 wins, you're going to have, they're all going to have to be better. The receivers is the easy answer. But you're also going to have to get at least similar production from your defensive line. You're not going to get that production from your defensive ends, but you've got to be similar because that's why the defense was so much better. You've got to stay at least – you can't take a step back now on defense. You've got to at least – this is the base, 45th, 44th, 39th, whatever they finished up being in the metrics. That's where you need to hover if you're going to win 8 games. Because I do think the offense will be improved. I don't know that you'll have an offense that's good enough to overcome a terrible defense to win 8 games. So if you can stay good with the offense, good with the defense, stay status quo. You'd like to see improvement, big improvement, but you don't want a huge step back. Just stay shuffling where you are, and the offense will get better. But to do that, the defensive line's at least got to be similar to what it was last year.
Yeah, which I don't know if they're going to be better, man.
No, I don't think they'll be better on the defensive line, but they can at least be similar.
Okay.
Like, can those defensive ends produce 14 sacks between all of them as opposed to 20 that they got this year?
Yeah.
Can they have this many QB hits? Can they have this kind of impact? That to me is a big, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of storylines going into the spring and going into the August. But that to me is certainly one of the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll focus offensively. If these receivers can be, I mean, listen, this is something Ira's been harping on for 3 years, and I've been like, just get a better quarterback and they'll be fine. But they, something's got to give. I'll give Jordan Travis a benefit of the doubt. If the receivers can get better, and this doesn't call him as like picking on Jordan Travis, but the one player, I mean, I have to pick one player, the quarterback. It's the most important position on the field. If he can make a step, make a leap, I mean that helps everything out, man. It is 2021. Score more. And I'm not trying to be critical or anything. I'm not trying to be a jerk about that, but it's a lot of these games. I mean, they're boat races, man. They're track meets. You have to be able to score quickly and score quite effectively or efficiently. And if he can grow a little bit more, which is to say, there's no reason he can. I don't think we've seen him hit his head on any sort of ceiling. It just for him to be better, improve, that'd be a really scary football player. I don't know if that resides inside of him. It's intriguing to think about. It's intriguing to think about a guy that's that mobile, that can get more accurate, maybe make some quicker decisions, maybe make some more confident throws, and pair that together with being elusive. And then, I mean, if you got a guy like that, it's like you better win 8 games. So I'll say receivers as a position group. And then if that quarterback can, stack some good spring ball together on top of a camp preseason where he knows that he's the guy, he doesn't have to maybe look over his shoulder, maybe that'll do some help. So that's what I'm going with.
All right, buddy. All right. I like it.
We got several more. We're nearing the hour mark, though, so I don't know. Maybe we'll do 2 or 3 more here. I think the next 2 of the next 3 are comments and not questions, so that'll help out. Okay. Let's go to Mark in Naples, M. Adam CZ. Wake up! Happy New Year to both of you. I hope Brady's feeling better, Corey. My son got the flu, and he was knocked out in bed for almost 2 weeks. All is good now, though. Aslan, I hope the house is coming along nicely and that you're enjoying it. Thank you, Mark. It is. It is, man. Real quick, Corey, have you ever had the flu? I don't think I've ever had the flu. I felt horrible. I don't think I've ever been sick, gone to the doctor, and be like, yeah, you have the flu. I can't remember it. Have you ever had the flu?
I've never been diagnosed with it, but I'm quite sure there's a couple instances in my life where I must have. Yeah, just the way I felt, the way my fever, I had an awful fever, a body ache for days. I didn't know what it was. I ended up going to the ER because I just could not get over it. And I remember I was telling Stephanie about this. They gave me a shot in my butt in the ER that I still don't know what it was, but I immediately felt better. Like literally within, number one, it made me, it was like smacking a horse on the butt. Yeah,
did they do that before they put the needle in you too?
No, but they put the needle in me and I sprinted down the hallway. It hurt so bad. Like to walk it off, and I didn't walk it off. I ran it off.
Oh, jeez.
Back and forth. I mean, it was crazy. I don't know if it was just a shot of adrenaline, but immediately, literally within like 45 seconds, I felt much, much better with just one. Hey, medicine, man. Marvelous, some of the things they do. But that had to have been the flu. Like, I don't know what else it could have been. But I didn't get technically diagnosed for it.
Yeah, 2017, the week of the Alabama game, I was so deathly ill. Like 103-degree fever. The back of my mouth was like white. I mean, just shivers, aches, everything. Go to walk-in clinic. They're like, nah, sugar, you don't have the flu. You just got the ick. And I'm like, what? And then I remember after the Miami game in 2003, that rainy game, I mean, I was literally sick for 2 weeks. I finally went to the walk-in clinic on campus, the Thagard Center, and they gave me a shot. And then I remember my fingernails started turning blue, and I just couldn't stop shaking and shivering. So I had to, walk back in there. They put me in a room. They literally put, 20 blankets on me. I had an allergic reaction. I was fine. I lived.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you did.
But yeah, they didn't.
Spoiler alert.
I had the flu either. Corey, you had an interesting idea about playing bowl games week 1. The games would actually mean something, and the best players would play. Question is, how would you decide which teams play in which bowl games? Preseason rankings, record from prior season, best worst uniforms, which campuses have the most least bamboo. It's a cool idea. I just don't know how the matchups would be determined and which big programs would agree to play anything but a cupcake opponent in week 1. Also, any ideas for a war chant gathering in New Orleans for the LSU game? I will be there. A hurricane party, the drink that is, at Pat O's would be fun. Absolutely. I'm there, Mark. I'm there.
We're going to do, we got to do something. We don't know what it will be, but we will definitely have, even if we just tweet out, hey, everybody, we're on Bourbon Street, come join us, or at the casino, or wherever we end up being. We'll definitely try to plan something for sure. I would think the only thing I could think, and I don't even know, I'm sure it's not feasible, it's never going to happen, but like, why not just do the bowl selection like they do it now? But you do the bowl selection in November, but the games aren't until August. I mean, you just wait 7 months instead of 3 weeks. But so the reward for having a good season in 2021 is you play in a cool game to start 2022. And it feeds itself. So then you have a good season in 2022. You reward, and if you don't make it, okay. If you don't make a bowl, you get to open with Duquesne.
I know, but the thing though is, so you have a good year. If you're, what's like second tier SEC? Like if you're Ole Miss, are they playing Baylor? That's not a good example. But like if you're Florida State, like say Florida State would have gone 10-3 this year, and then their reward is they got to open with Oregon instead of Duquesne. Like that's not a reward. Like bowl games are rewards. Like you don't want to be 10-3 and then like, okay, like thanks guys. We're handing the baton off to you. We're seniors. We're gone. Good luck next year opening up against Texas, who just got 10 transfers come in, and now they're clicking on all cylinders. So, that's kind of the weird thing there where it's like, all right, how is this?
Yeah, man, but this is – I get it. There are going to be flaws to everything, but It won't be nearly as flawed as this nonsense. This is crazy. And I guess it's also COVID-ravaged, so it's hard to really know. By the way, credit to NC State for just saying they won that game. Well done, guys. I love it. We're 10-win season. Congratulations, Doran. What a bowl win that was. But like this is just all preposterous. It's just not. These aren't the teams. These aren't the teams that played during the season. Like if Florida State if they had knocked down that pass against Jacksonville State and played the Gasparilla Bowl against anyone, let's just say Central Florida. Well, who would have been the defensive line? You know what I mean? But if they had played Central Florida to start the season, you would have seen the real Florida State football team. I don't know. I just think, especially if we get to like a 12-team playoff, which should be coming hopefully any years now, losing an opener to Oregon won't crush you. Because if you win your conference, you're still going to probably get to the playoff anyway. That might even be one of the requisites. So I don't think it would be that. I just think the bowl system is done. The players have caught on. They don't need this. Jayshon Corbin might be a 5th-round pick at all, if at all. And hopefully, Jayshon, I hope you make it. I hope you play in the league for 10 years. There is no way he's playing in that game. None. So what's the point of this? What are we doing with these bowl games now? 20 years ago, they all played. 10 years ago, they all played. Now, if you have any chance at all of being drafted, any chance at all, you're not playing in that game. So, what's the point of even playing the games? But at least now you could make bowls more of they would be more, I don't know, they would, indicative of this team you actually were because you start the season. I don't know. I just think this is crazy, what's going on now with bowls. And they do it for the money, but you could make a lot more money, I think, and have a lot more people at these games if you started the season. I don't know if, Louisville Air Force is going to bring them in. But I can promise you this, Louisville would have played better to start the season than they did there at the end of the – because you also have the guys that opt out and the guys that have already entered the portal.
Well, you got to tie in you got to tie in the compensation of finishing the string out. I mean, just have
that's I think that's what's going to be. Either you move the bowls to the front or you move them to the – by the way, did you see the NBA might go to an in-season tournament, like a middle-of-the-season tournament? Where if you win the tournament on the team, you get they have a prize for the players. So it's like an extra $1 million or something. I think that would be awesome in the middle of a tournament. I know soccer does stuff like that all the time. But I don't think in college football you would have a middle of the season bowl week. But it would be cool if you did. That'd be neat.
This time of year is just great, man. This is the bowl season, man. We want bowl games now, and I want them to be better. I'm with you, though. But according to some dude from The Athletic, Georgia State, Ball State got 1.7 million viewers on Christmas Day. Bowls aren't going anywhere, is what they said.
All right.
This is in reply to Danny Cannell saying if it's taught us anything this year, it's that 42 is too many. Nope. Love you, Danny, but nope.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to we're gonna power through. So we got like 5 more, but a lot of them.
Oh man, let's
comments.
go. Let's go.
It's Dave
I
in
love you
Bardstown,
guys.
Kentucky. Bourbon is your friend. To the chagrin of people who did not appreciate this post on the Tribal Council, I will again offer my hearty recommendation to listen to the Leroy Butler on the Art of Fatherhood podcast. Not only is he super entertaining to listen to, I felt like he had a lot of insightful things to say, and he just seems like a super authentic person. Corey, I know you would enjoy it.
Okay. All right.
Art of
Duly
Fatherhood.
noted. All right.
Check it out. Gator Kirk, Gator 188. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's all caps Garnet with 10 exclamation marks. I'm sorry, everybody. Winding down another year, it has been a wild ride. Looking forward to 2022 and what it holds for Noles athletics. Wishing all the Knoll family health and wealth in the coming year. Go Noles. Signed, Gator. Thanks, Gator. Appreciate you, man. Hope you and Kat are doing well.
Absolutely.
Virginia Beach. FSU fan 201-207. Never heard this guy before. Been around since 2009. Only
Okay.
22 posts. Didn't tell us where he's from or anything, but it's the holiday season. Wake up. Thank you both to your commitment to excellence and entertainment. You both are exceptional at your jobs. Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, for real.
What a great question this is
Yeah,
to start.
awesome.
What a great start to your question.
There are a lot of things to improve for this team, but for each of you, what's the one aspect of the team you want improved? They say special teams has to get better. Norvell emphasizes it so much, it has to get to the level he says he wants it at. That's not unfair.
Yeah, the thing is there are no wrong answers, right? Yeah. Like when you're 5 and 7, it all needs to be improved. There's nothing you're elite at. There's nothing even you're good at. And that it goes for the quarterback. It was solid quarterback play. It wasn't elite quarterback play. And Jordan Travis didn't get any all ACC votes. Now the conference was loaded this year, but he didn't get all ACC votes. So you've got to get better everywhere, literally everywhere, except defensive. Well, defensive end you'd like to maintain, but you're not going to probably. But everywhere else can be better. Again, my initial thought is always going to be you've got to have guys out wide that can change games, change the numbers on the scoreboard, as I like to say. So that to me, you've got to get guys that can make plays out wide. So you don't have to scheme up every single yard. Some guys can just go get you some special yards and go win games for you because they can't be tackled, or leap over somebody and catch a 50-50 ball. So go do that and let's see what it looks like.
Coverage from the cornerbacks. Maybe they found some of the Maureen Cooper, Kevin Noles. Maybe Kevin Noles isn't he wasn't really a slot guy, right? Then they put Jamie Robinson there. Or did Jamie go to safety, and that's what made everything click better on the back end of things? That secondary, if that can continue to get better, I think maybe that will help offset anything they were unable to replicate up front. Because I just don't – it's going to be really tough to replace Jermaine and Kier. And I know Corey's idea sounds really good. Like, hey, Derek and Quayshawn and not even – who's the guy?
Peyton.
Yeah. There you go. Payne, George Wilson. Just help us. Let's be a mash unit kind of thing. If that secondary can continue to, if those young guys, which there's no reason to think they cannot get better. Kevin Noles or Maureen Cooper only scratch the surface. Jamie Robinson, money year. If those guys can really play at a high level, that might be something that really makes the defense click. And then, Corey's point, receivers. But the one aspect. I always say the quarterback. I would always say the quarterback unless you have Jameis, unless you have, Bryce Young, unless you have those transcendent guys, I'm always going to want my quarterbacks to be the guy that gets much better. But that's for anybody. So specifically for this team, I'll say defensive back because Corey said the right answer, which is receiver. Daryl, Thomasville, North Carolina, Captain D _63. First of all, Happy New Year's, Aslan and Corey. It's been a great year, and we've all been blessed. Secondly, I would like to thank all the fine folks at warchant.com for an awesome year of sports coverage. You guys did great, and I thank you all. Thank you for being a subscriber, Daryl. We appreciate it, man. You've been around.
It was our pleasure, buddy. It was our pleasure.
It's been around since 2002.
There you go, D-Train. Yeah.
All right, here we go. On to the question. Coach Norvell's already put together a great recruiting class. He's got 2 receivers that on paper look to be able to make a difference. This transfer portal season is really important. That being said, let's project into next season. Let's say the transfer portal was great to FSU and we hit some home runs. What record does Coach Norvell have to have in order, to let you know he is the man for the job? All right, so if he that's, I don't know, is a chicken egg thing. If he hits home runs, will that prove he's good, or does he need to? Will they win games because I don't know. I'm trying to chicken egg it. Like,
Look,
will they be home? Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, to prove that he's the right guy for the job, it's going to take, for me, and I think for most Florida State fans, to prove it. Not to prove that he's got it in the right direction, to prove that he can get to where every Florida State fan expects this program to be. He's got to be in a championship game of some sort. Like, until that happens, like, short of him going, 11-1 and not getting in or something, or 10-2 with 2, like, it would, like, I was thinking, okay, what does 8 wins do? Does 8 wins really keep Florida State fans placated for the next 5? If he wins 8 games 2 years in a row, does that keep you placated? Does it have to go from 8 to 11? The only way, the Jimbo Fisher had a whole bunch of critics until he did what? You know what I mean? It's not like he got rid of them at 12-2. It's not like he got rid of them after Northern Illinois. He still had plenty of critics going into that year. So until you get this program to where everybody expects it to be and what we're used to it being, there's always going to be questions and nothing will be proven. I think that's, like, 8 wins would be great, but it doesn't prove to me that he's a championship coach. It doesn't prove to me that he's going to have Florida State in a championship game or winning championships, ACC ACC Atlantic or ACC by itself. He's got to go win these things. Until then, it's all speculation.
I will say, again, like, Jimbo, what he did against Oklahoma in 2011 was like, okay. Like, that was the number 1 team in the nation. They came to Doak. We put the fear of God into them for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, but his offense was it was horrible.
Care,
that
man.
wasn't a
like,
great Oklahoma defense, and he put up 1 touchdown.
Well, he lost his quarterback midway through the game.
Well, he didn't lose him in the first quarter. Like, it wasn't like AJ had him going up and down the field. So my point being, certainly if you thought that Jimbo proved himself against Oklahoma, well, then what did the next 3 games tell you when they lost all 3? Like, or lost the next 2 and then lost to Virginia and put up 80 yards against Florida. Like,
well, he won one, man. He was an offensive coordinator, and for a national championship, he called the plays. He knew what it took to win a championship game, how to put a championship team together.
If you were on the bandwagon, that thought he was definitely the right guy and definitely going to get Florida State to the promised land, there weren't many people on that wagon with you.
No, I understand.
Is my point. That's just my point. No. So I don't know that a bandwagon could get full at a place like Florida State for 8-win seasons. I think it's a sign. If they win 8 games next year, it's certainly a sign that they're moving in the right direction. But how are the players being developed? Who's making drastic leaps from freshman year to junior year? Because we'll have that evidence now. That's the other stuff you need to see. And at the end of the day, if you're not a top 10 or top 12 program competing for championships at this school, you're going to have something to prove. It's not like, hey, give us another year or two. I know we were 7-5 or we were 28th in the country. We received some votes, but we're going in the right direction. No, man, that doesn't prove anything other than you're doing an okay job at a place that's won consistently for 4 decades. Well, so that's all. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's nothing other short of him getting to 10 or 11 wins or playing for a championship. There's nothing really next year that can prove he's the dude. But it also, coming from a guy that I think he's a good coach, and I think he might be the guy. But at some point, the wins will have to stack up for us to know for sure that's the hard evidence. That's the data we need. And now we know Mike Norvell is a championship coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think 10 wins a very – I don't think it's an unreasonable ask. I just don't. I really don't. If he doesn't get to that sort of hallmark, I wonder how good Clemson will be next year. I mean, as we sit and record this, they're playing Iowa State in their bowl game. They almost did beat Clemson on the road. So you can maybe be like, well, Aslan, if they almost beat Oklahoma in 2011, why don't you give Norvell the credit for almost beating Clemson this past year? I just don't – he beat North Carolina in 2020. That was a top 5 team. He actually won that game, Aslan. I just think we know that those teams – unless Oklahoma wasn't the number 1 team in the nation that year. I don't think they weren't even in the BCS conversation once Autumn really sort of took hold. So – but we had been so downtrodden for so long, and I know it feels like it's been a long time here too, but it relatively hasn't been compared to what Jimbo kind of walked into. LSU game's not going to prove it. LSU, I mean, I don't know, man. Florida State legitimately might be a favorite going to that game because LSU's lost a lot of talent. They're losing coaches too. I know it's in their backyard. They probably will be favored LSU, but not by all that much, I wouldn't think.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to let us know anything. Well, let's see how good this Clay Klubnik kid is from Clemson, how good they are. Maybe if they're 5-6-0 going into that game, and they come to Tallahassee and he can, upend them, but you still only finish the season 8-5. But maybe you beat them and Florida. Maybe you beat them and Miami. Maybe you beat 2 out of your 3 rivals. That'll give you something. Absent 10 wins. Maybe one of these teams on the schedule next year actually ends up being really good, and you're the team that beats them or puts a scare in them.
Hey, let's hope, buddy. Let's hope.
2 more. We made it. NYC Nole. Paul Gleason avatar. Wake up, gents. Tell me 2022 will be better for our Noles.
It'll be better for your Noles.
Yeah. As always, great job by you guys and wishing you a successful 2022. The only thing that should give you pause is losing Jermaine Johnson, Kier Thomas, which is a really big deal, and if they can replace them. But I just can't imagine this offensive line's not going to be better. I can't imagine running back's going to take that much of a step back. Receiver's going to be better. The quarterback's going to be better. Your secondary's most likely going to be better. Your linebacking core, most likely better. You were 5 wins last year, though, so everything should be better. You're Florida State. That was 5 wins last year. It will be better because of all the things I outlined. I mean, all your segments are going to be improved outside of your front 4, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. But if all other segments are carrying their weight and doing a little bit better, yeah, man, 7-8 wins for you practical people, 10 wins for guys like me.
All right, Aslan. Well said. I can't add anything to it.
Bird is the Nole. Once upon a time, there was a man named Mike Norvell. Mr. Mike, on a beautiful evening, met his significant other. It was Ms. Wildcat. They were beautiful together. No other match in the world could top them, though on one beautiful morning she was gone. They once soared together like no other, then she fled in the midst of the night. How could this relationship seem to flutter into obscurity so quickly? Did I miss something there?
Well, I mean, look, all of 2020, anytime they got to 3rd and 2, they just went into the Wildcat.
There we go. Okay, I'm like, wow.
And then the Jacksonville State game happened, and it backfired on him a couple times. Like, that was dumb. Not doing that anymore. So I guess, I don't know. He woke up one morning and realized, what am I doing with this person? What am I doing with a Wildcat? Is this the kind of person I want to be with? No. Get out of here. And that's what happened. The Wildcat just ran off into the wilderness, apparently.
Oh, wow. This is a long one. Not a long one. The answer, we'll have to figure out a way to. Corey, you'll be smart about this, I'm sure. Now, my next question, which might not be so poetic, might be a very difficult question to ask. Video idea? Maybe. But I'm curious, as I have thought heavily about this. But who are your starting 24 players? Or maybe for simplicity's sake, who are your starting skill players as of right now? Anyways, Happy New Year's. I hope 2022 is awful. Also, strategic move, he puts parenthetically. Reverse psychology, I guess. Welcome, Aslan, to the iPhone cult you'll never want to leave. I'm not there yet.
No, he's not.
I'm not far yet. Sorry, Corey. All right, starting 24, Jordan Travis.
We're not doing that. Come on, we're not doing that.
No,
we'll do the skill players.
Toafili starting, yes or no? I say he starts.
No.
Your offensive line.
Ward starts.
Oh, okay. Darius Washington, Caden Lyles, Dylan Gibbons, Robert Scott, and Thomas Schrader. Or are you going to
So Darius Washington's the center, or the Wisconsin kid's the center?
Wisconsin kid's the center.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll leave hope for maybe a starting transfer tackle. I'll one position each side of the ball. I'll put wild card. They're not here yet. I'll say there's somebody on the offensive line that's not here yet that will start. Out wide, we'll go 3 wide. Our starting tight end, Cam McDonald. Our 3 receivers will be Micah Pittman, Malik McLean, and Pokey. Still, I think.
Okay. All right. I can get along with that. But the Arizona State kid's going to be a big deal. They're going to throw to him a good bit, I think.
Okay. All right, so maybe him over – would you say him over Malik or him over Pokey?
I think no, I would say maybe he's used like, okay, we're at the 20-yard line. We're going to throw it up to our man, our 6'7" guy, and let him go get it. We're going to call him Go Get It.
Go Get It.
Go Get It. That's his name. You're not going to call him Johnny. His name's Go Get It. So, yeah, but it doesn't – I mean, it doesn't really matter who starts. He's going to get plenty of reps. Those guys, all the receivers you mentioned will get plenty of reps.
Coop, Fabian, man, I want to say 2 wild cards. I only said 1 wild card. So 1 wild card on the defensive end that's not here yet. And I guess we'll just say, I'll say Quayshawn over D-Mac. Hot take. Love you, though, D-Mac.
Okay. All right.
We'll go 4-2-5, Kalen, Deloach, and Amari. And then our 5 defensive backs, we will go with Jamie Robinson. We will go with Omari,
Noles,
Cooper, Jarian Jones, and then I don't know who the 5th would be. Who else played safety?
I mean, Sidney Williams played some. Renardo Green played some.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. Maybe this is the year Renardo Green coming back. Maybe Renardo Green finally comes back.
All right.
There we go.
And who's going to return punts?
Micah Pittman. Or is he return
There's
kicks?
the real question. That's the only question anybody needs to be asking. Who's going to be catching these darn flipping punts? And it's going to be Micah Pittman, and we hope he's actually catching the thing. Either that or Florida State punt returners are just like it's the football gods gave you some of the best that have ever walked on this earth to return punts for decades, all up until Greg Reed. So from like 85 to 2011, you had nothing but incredible punt returners. And the payment for that is you're going to have 10 years of just wandering in the wilderness, hoping you can find somebody that can catch a ball like a seal. Just hold it against your body and don't let it roll all the way down to the 2.
Oh, man. All right, that's fair. All right, we made it through 18 questions and comments.
Oh,
We're
boy,
really 17.
that's crazy. What are we doing to ourselves, Aslan?
All right,
Hey, we appreciate the interaction.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're – I mean, the basketball team's not playing games, so it's hard to do 3 shows a week. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm not playing a violin for you all, but just letting you know programming-wise. But we do appreciate every one of you, for real, listening, posting questions, even you folks that comment on YouTube, that tweet at us. Shout out to I should have read at the top of the show, but shout out to Denise Harley. Somebody asked her, or somebody put out there, what's your favorite FSU podcast? She says, I find Wake Up Warchant to be the most fair, on point, and least grading. So,
least grading. So it's still grading, but it's the least grading of the other ones out there, which, hey, I'll take that. That's a compliment, baby. I like that.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much. Plenty of content coming up at warchant.com. And we'll at least maybe do 2 a week for you folks. We'll talk about something, and then we'll do Randy Get Express so you guys can sound off. Have a Happy New Year, everybody. Say that, Corey.
Happy New Year. We love you. Yeah. Auld Lang Syne, whatever that means. Just go out and have fun. Be safe. Enjoy your life. And God bless us, everyone.
He's Corey. I'm Aslan. Thank you so much for listening to Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee. Come explore our world of coffee. DeLuna Coffee features over 24 different blends. DeLuna's unique roasts can be delivered ground finely for drip coffee makers, coarse for the craft crowd, untouched as a whole bean, or even in convenient K-Cups. Founded in 2014 by the Lemmix family, Ed and Brett are FSU alums and boosters who are extending a special offer to all listeners. Use the promo code WARCHANT15 for a 15% discount. Visit DeLunaCoffee.com and check out their Facebook and Instagram.